close kinship with your ministers, and I feel like there's a new energy emerging. Can you all sense that there's something really, it seems like it's about to take off. So it's an exciting time to be here. It's an exciting time to be alive, because the world needs people that are awake, and those of us that are awakening. I think there's a purpose for each of us. And so I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad I'm here as well. So I want to begin by telling a story. And this is a story about a man that walks into a psychiatrist's office, and he has a chicken in his arm. And he says, Doc, he says, my brother, he has a problem, and he really needs your help. He thinks he's a chicken. Okay? So, if you're the psychiatrist, you understand you've got a basic decision to make, right? You can begin to do therapy with the chicken, or you can question the premise that the problem is based upon. So I present that because I believe that in our spiritual journey, so many of us unwittingly are talking to the chicken. And so let me talk about that and how we can discover that the biggest problem we have may be that we're working on the wrong problem. So we begin with blessing and a curse, called the human mind. Okay? The human mind is the greatest blessing that we've ever been given. It's allowed us to survive. It's allowed us to create the wonderful, beautiful world that we live in. It's allowed us to survive in the face of all sorts of adversity over the last many hundreds of thousands of years that we've existed. So we survive, and the animals, unfortunately, many of them don't, because we have an ability to create with the mind that most animals don't have. That mind is both a blessing and it's a curse, because it really works very well in some cases, and in some cases it does not. And that's where it's important for us to be able to discern. The human mind has evolved as a survival tool for us, and in many ways it works very well. Because the human mind is like a computer, and it's programmed to see the world in a certain way. The human mind is designed as a problem solver, and that's why it was here. With animals, their problems are addressed instinctively. So they rely upon instinct to stay warm, to find food, to survive. We, for the most part, don't have those instincts. We have to discern with the mind how to do that. Now, we do that in a way that's worked very well for us. The mind starts with the assumption that there's a problem. I don't have what I need. Most basic problem. I don't have what I need, so therefore I turn to the mind for a solution. And I turn to what has worked in the past to get what I need now. We do this at a very young age. We learn from our parents, our siblings, our family system, what works to get what we needed. We develop a strategy to get what we needed, to get the love that we needed, to get the attention that we needed, to get the care that we needed. We develop a particular strategy. In the practical world, we learn how to do things, and if it works, we do it over and over again, you see, and that's what science is based upon. If something works, you write it down, you create a formula, you create a process, you do it over and over again, you see. So the mind is beautiful, and this program works well for things like fixing flat tires and building bridges and baking cakes and so on and so forth. The problem is that it doesn't give us what we most want. helps us to survive, which is very, very important, but it will not give us the happiness, the peace that we're looking for. So there's the double-edged sword of the human mind, that we have a mind that works to keep us alive as a species, as individuals. The fact that you're sitting here alive today means that your mind has served you well. The fact that human beings are here, as we are, as the dominant species on this planet, for better or for worse, that's the truth. We are the dominant species on this planet because we have a mind that's superior to instinct. Because when conditions change, it's easier to change the mind than it is to create new instincts. Instincts take millions of years to evolve. And biological change takes millions of years to occur, whereas mental change can occur much more rapidly. Albeit sometimes it seems like millions of years it takes us to change our minds too, doesn't it? And the mind cannot give us what we most want, but yet it has worked so well up till now. That's the dilemma. So what has worked is not working to get what we really want. So it reminds me of a story about Nasruddin. How many folks here are familiar with Nasruddin? Good, I can say anything I want to. Nasruddin is a character from Sufi traditions, from Sufi lore, and he's what's called a wise fool. He seems like a fool, but in his foolishness he teaches us a great deal of wisdom. So it's important to hear both the laughter as well as the wisdom in the story. So in this particular story, Nasruddin is out late at night and he's looking around on the street, under a street light, and he's searching the ground. He's looking, pacing back and forth, and kind of like the chicken we saw there, just sort of looking around. And a police officer comes by and says, "Hey, you, what are you doing?" Nasruddin says, "Well, I'm looking for my car keys. I lost them." "Oh, okay. Where'd you lose them?" "I lost them over there." "If you lost them over there, why are you looking over here?" "Well, this is where the street light is." Have you ever done that? Maybe not literally, but we all do it figuratively, don't we? Because we try to solve problems, we try to solve all problems under the light that we know. You see, we use the light, the understanding that we have, to try to figure everything out. You may have heard that old saying that if all you have is a hammer, everything you see looks like a nail. And so it is. We try to resolve all of our issues with the mind. And again, the mind has served us so well up till now, but it seems like it cannot take us all the way home. It cannot get us what we most want. And that's the great paradox. But if it could, we could just read books and we'd be happy, or we could take courses at university and we'd be happy, but it doesn't seem to quite work that way, you see. That we can, no matter how intelligent we are, no matter how much knowledge we have, no matter how much skill or wealth we have in the world, it doesn't equate to true happiness, that peace, that satisfaction that we all want more than anything else. Well, Nasruddin is looking for his keys in this metaphor, and he doesn't find the keys because they're in his own pocket. And in many cases, that's why we don't find what we're looking for, because it's too close. The mind is conditioned to look outward. So immediately we begin looking out to try to get what we want in here. And it doesn't really work. Rumi once said that many a man has gone on a journey in search of that which was right where he stood from. Okay. So we leave ourselves looking for ourselves, and it doesn't seem to work. And yet the mind is so geared up to doing that it's really important. When we do our spiritual practice, when we engage in the spiritual journey, it takes a whole new attitude. It takes a whole new mindset. It takes a whole new approach to being. So much of the time when we take courses like in meditation, for example, that's a classic spiritual practice, and so often we will engage meditation as a way of trying to solve a problem. And it's a little bit like riding a bicycle too, in the sense that we can't figure it out with the mind, or at least I have never been able to ride a bicycle. Forget your mind. You get on there and ride the bike. The body knows how to ride the bike. You see, the mind can't figure it out. Step 3, repeat step 1 and 2 over and over and over again. And step 4 is just to know the truth. To know the truth, to know the truth. And step 5 then is to do what needs to be done, whatever that is. Taking a deep breath. Right now, in this moment. I'm going to take a deep breath. And in taking that deep breath, know that that breath, when you're fully present to it, is the Christ, is the Buddha, is your true nature. And every time something arises that pulls you away from that, notice what that is. Look at it, let it go, come back to the breath, or come back to your affirmation, whatever it is that centers you. So we'll segue into our meditation at this time.